Welcome. I am Crimey Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we actualize self-love with the use of scriptural references and, of course, our life experiences, seeing how they impact on us. That's the scriptures and words, of course, numbers, and collating whatever it is that we feel that has impacted our lives. Of course, a lot of things, everything directly or indirectly impacts our lives, but it's how we can raise our conscious awareness to what is. Of course. Now, with that, I thought I would kind of revisit the magic of the numbers. So now I am sort of going on I would say intermediate level of magic of numbers, because the numbers, they go way down. I mean, we are talking about Mother Eve, the serpent, the snake, that which have the ability to dive deep down to the ocean and up again. I love the ocean, and now I'm thinking about Mother Eve in the ocean. Well, there we go. Because we have been so indoctrinated or conditioned to be petrified of the serpent. And now, of course, I'm gonna have to probably find some way of doing some physical exercise, which I did try before, of learning to touch a serpent or a snake. And so, just for the fun of it, just to know that I'm not only with the gift of speech as she has deposited within all of us, because she is the God of words. Mother Eve is the God of not just, well, the word, because we were told that everything was created through the words. It was the word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was God. So again, the word was. Let's just do that because we are talking about 7. The magic of number 7. So we hear this a lot in the scriptures, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. So was, as we can see, there still is light. So something we had learned had happened thousands of years ago, we can still see the evidence of that light. So was is giving us a very good insight to its meaning. So there we are, 511. Basically, was is as. Was is as is that it's just giving us a perspective of looking at one dimension. When we say one dimension or one side of the coin, it's like we can see, you can't really see both sides of the coin at once. So we could say the tail was there. We can't see it now, but it doesn't mean it is not here. Now, that's important for us to really pay attention to. I don't mean to sort of talk down here, but I really want you to get this, because I not too long got it myself, and perhaps you got it already, but it was new to me. So new, and I haven't heard anyone else spoken of it. So, and I find it so delicious. So was is also, this is where we say everything is present. It's just our ability to grasp the wholeness or totality of one thing at any given moment. And so we see was is really, the W is really that vibration that spins. I heard someone put it a certain way, that the wave, which the W is the wave, they didn't mention the W, but the W is the wave. The wave is that which, wow, it was so beautifully put. I better try and find the words that Mother Eve is really giving to me, the said God. So the wave is really that which propels the motion, something into motion or into the direction of our attention. I think that is even better than what I was trying to say that the other person said. So basically, it's the wave that really pivots our attention, or it's the green light or the red light, whichever that will catch our attention. And that is how Mother Eve, which is the said God, the S, the serpent, that's how she works. She really is going to be very busy, whether you are up here or whether you're down here. She's going to really be flexible to really show you her nature. Not just her nature, but her nature is to show you your nature. Now, there were two things I'm going to do in yours, and the first one is there. So something was there, and something we often do is when we say was, and I think that is for every past tense that we use, we think, these words are just lovely. So we are looking at past, the past tense. We look at there, THERE, and the other one I just said was it will come. So when we say something was, because we have seen that this is 5 plus 2, that equals 7. 7 is really giving us its nature. It's that which obscure the other half. Why does it obscure the other half? Because it is like this. This is, and we are not able to see this other half, because this other half, which is the L, perhaps is representing low, like in when Mother Eve says, because as the L here, when she says, let there be light, that means there is not the present yet. She is paying attention. Thank you, Mother Eve. She is paying attention to the low part, the low, it's the low vibration here. She is igniting the low vibration here to take rise to have the 7. So when we hear about the creation and all of that, this is Mother Eve really in the L state. This is why we say learning, letting, lower, level, love, lift. So all these L words are really here, than that they are waiting to be lifted in that vibration, which they do carry, that free vibration. This is why I say 3 as well is always seeking to be recognized. It is seeking to be recognized, and that's why when God changed Sarah, Sarai, which was 21. I won't do this again. It's 21, but 2 plus 1 is 3. And then he changed it to Sarah. There was another thing that when he told her that she would be with child. She was Sarah and she was going to be with child, but she laughed. Laugh became 22. And we did do the numerical value for, I have done that, where I got 33, the vibration of 33. But she laughed, and laughed is, let's do laughed. This is, laughed is 31. Laugh is 31. We've done that already, which is foundational. That is foundation. And of course, laugh is 22. We see 22 correlated very perfectly with the name Sarah, which is 11918. When we add this together, 9 and 9, 18, and 220. So we have 2, but I'm trying to get you to see the double 3, the 33 vibration. Perhaps it did come in when we did 33 when we actually wrote the word 33. Oh, this is it, because she was at 90 years old. She was at 90 years old, and she was told that she would be with child. Of course, this is when she laughed. But she laughed 3 times. That's the thing. That's the thing. So basically, she laughed, and we see that would be 2 plus 2 would be 4. So 4 plus 3 would be 12. So we see 3 fours. We could say the 12 could be divisible in 4. So 4 threes. So in that in itself, she would carry. So she laughed 3 times in the scriptures. I didn't cover that before, but she laughed 3 times, and each time would equal 22, or whether it was 4, however you want to do it. But times 3 would be 3 to 6, 3 to 6. Of course, divisible, we have 33. This is doubles. So she then, by being caused to laugh, that in itself ignited the vibration where she could conceive. And there was the aha moment. There was a lot of aha moment between her and her husband. That is a very, very delicious story. You really want to explore that on the Crimea Queen channel. I have covered that when because God changed her name and her husband's name, and there was the only difference that had happened, or the that was very apparent, was an AH was added to their name, or HA, and you could say, aha. It's like, you know what these utterances can be like. Unspoken words. So there I'm saying about as, and we have the 5. So 5 here is already saying this is Mother Eve. It's like as Mother Eve. Mother Eve is, again, the W is like an S, because Mother Eve takes on those forms of S. When we see S, we see 8, we see the W, the 3, the E, in that sense. This is Mother Eve doing her camouflage. And we see in the word past here as well, there is as. So basically, when people are saying it's past or forget this, the mere fact you can even make a reference to it is that there is an aspect of it is still present. Now let's show you about what there. This is what I'm saying. If it was in the past, that means it is still there. Because we say it's there. We usually have an object of representation for something to say it is past. To say something is past, we have a reference of an object for it. It is like we either use time or space, matter, whatever. We say, okay, it was in 2010. So then we have a space-time for it. Or it was in the backyard. We have an objective place for it, environmental location for it. Or it was in the heavens, it was another sphere, it was in space somewhere. So, but to say, for us to say it was, at any time we are saying was, it's really bringing us back to making the reference that it is also here. That is something I really want to implement in what I'm doing here as much as possible, because this is very vital to us learning how we process things. And I heard someone say that, for instance, a lot of time, I think that was Reverend Ike, a lot of times we are making affirmations, for instance, but we are not conscious of including ourselves. And we say, okay, I want this or whatever, or we visualize, but we do not see ourselves as part of that visual, part of the image, part of that movement. It's that movement which is also very vital for us to experience the moment as as, like having two, and as in itself is also showing us two aspects of that which is. So basically, the one and one, which is the same value for Jesus here as well, 11, and it's you and I. It's also really, in essence, saying it is W. So what I am learning now doing numerology, the first letter of any word is that it already gives a strong indication of what is to follow, because it's like the introduction of a story. In essence, the same format of having an introduction to a story, or like even Genesis, is the same format, or is the same shape that the words itself take. But because we have so many words to convey or to use, and not only that, we have been the words are increasing so rapidly, we have not taken the time back to scale down to the formation and the root of the words. So when we look at we scale things down, we will see, for instance, like I said, the L is already giving the indication of what level, of what light, of what lawless, of what loneliness, of what life, or that L that is seeking to propel. It's like it's got a ring to it, the L. It's like it's beckoning. It's beckoning some kind of recognition. So just to I'm going to keep doing this. So we not only have as here, we also have the representation of all the aspect of what is here, and that was the nature of it, that everything has a male and female aspect to it. So it has in it, so we say it's the house. For instance, it is a masculine house, which is the is here now, the is here. And it's a he house, or it's a her house, or it's an heir, like we say heir, love, or whatever. And it's also okay, that's about it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that in itself, that we are looking at 5 aspects to that, is already saying that this is where Mother Eve, when she says let there be, there is actually the third word, which gives us, with the L here as the first letter, which has a free vibration, free numerical vibration. It is like free now is also pivotal to the third letter. So we can see the magic of the word. It's placed so precisely. And that I am believing right now, with that format that has gone on, as I say, it's the example of that a story, the introduction of a story, it has given you the shape of how it is going to go. It has in it everything already, and we see that with Genesis of chapter 1 verse 1, in the beginning, the word beginning equals 9. In fact, let's do the numerical value for this one here. I think I did this before. So this is 9, but it has the 9 here. 9 is present here. And this is 10, 20, so it's 29. And 2 plus 9, of course, is 11. Now, this is the magic of 7 right here now. When I say I'm doing this, this is really because 7, we have seen how 7 is 2. Now we will see how 7 is also 9. So basically, 7, we have seen it as 2, when we do the numerical value for 7, we've seen it as 2 because everything is here and there. And now we will see 7 as 11. That's where the 711 came about, but 11 is 2. So let's look at that. This is why I'm saying that. So this is 5, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5. So this is 15, 15, 20, 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. Now we can see how this is what I'm saying. We see 7 came as 20, meaning that's 2. We also saw the same for Sarah as 20. Let's see if 7 came as directly as 2. Okay, so now I'm going to leave this here. Now when we do the numerical value for 9, no, for 9 is 6. There's another way of doing the 711. 9 is 6. Okay, let's 6 is, oh, let's do this. 6. Okay, just yeah, 96. I'll just put the numbers here so you can see, but I have added this so many times. So that's 15. That would be 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. So 9 is 6. So we do 11 and it's 9, and 9 is 6. This is how we know 6 is 9. Okay, and that means that we are saying we are 6 days of creation. And of course, the other days in that sense, day of rest, and the process is really that a function of birthing. This is where we go from so this is when we get to be a new creature in Christ, which is 5. We are with Mother Eve. Of course, we get our pineal gland activated, or kundalini. We change our lifestyle. We are dealing with habits and stuff that we have let them go, but we are fine-tuning by being a fox, and then we enter Fox City. Of course, this is where we are required to be smart. And this is the side, of course, that you have to be vigilant, you have to be smart, because it's as if, like I have shown on the black-white equation of entrapment, not anyone is allowed in that dimension or in that stage. This is where we are going to the right, and this is where we are going to the white side as well, because this is W, H, I, and we have T, E. So the T is the only part of the white that is really here, because it would seem like that's the only point of access, which there is a requirement to have access in that state right here, where the bonding happens, where the conditioning happens, where the agreement or all sorts of things happen in that number 2 right here. Now, just to be fair, but the black being L, A, C, K. This is where that section, that the black is in the sack, so to speak. So just to check my presentations on those black-white entrapment or equation of entrapment, it just gives us an idea. This template is really key in showing us where we are at and what we can do to get out of the sack and get into a developmental stage. Where is number 4? Of course, when we add 1, 2, 3 to 4, we have scored 10. There's a place you have, it's like Mother Eve is there with you from the Revelation section, and she's saying you have scored 10 out of 10. That's the game. That's the game and the structures that we are living by. Then you get into your born again or rebirth, however you want to put it, but you are on a new path. You are actually tasting of the fruit of good and evil. Now, because you may have learned that there is evil this side. You may have learned it's not so good, or you may have been distorted in your thinking about that state. You may have been abused in that state here. You may have been called names and been bullied in that state right here. But, and so, like for instance, I was told I had a big mouth. That would be in that state at school with my peers. And so I would go on into the society and think, oh God, I don't really want to speak much because people are going to notice my mouth, the size of it. But of course, getting out of that sack of belief, of limiting belief, and getting into the developmental stage, I was still faced with my north, south, east, and west to get a sense of my of who I am. And this is where I make a evaluation of myself here and say, oh, you know what, I'm moving that way. White or black, I am moving this way because I want to explore all of life. I want to understand the other side, or how the other side lives. Well, I don't know altogether, but I want to see the world. I want to experience other things. And that decision in itself requires me to let go of limiting beliefs here. So of course the new mindset takes me into this stage. Mother Eve is here with me with the L, because this is still like, it's a liver, but it's like she's really being the bedrock there. It's like just making her presence felt. This is where she says, let there be light, because Crimey Queen is moving up. And of course, there's an I here. The I and the N right here in itself, or the I and the 5 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. Now, 14, as I say, is a very symbolic number to me. So, of course, you can check out 14s, but I won't go into that right now. But just saying, I'm one of 14 children, and the 14 goes on, like in Mother Eve. So this is the tongue here. This is the scale of language, the scale of how we use our words, positive and negative. That is the fruits. These are the fruits, how they serve us. This is what we get to know about ourselves. And our nose is very symbolic about knowing. Whether we believe it or not, we think about the heart, we think about the brain, we think about our breath. But the nose in itself, there is something, because we breathe through our nose. And then that is how we know when we can breathe right or not. It's like if you had a cold or whatever it was and you were stifled, you know you're not breathing right. This is what tells you about knowing. So this is what it's about. And we have a bridge. As the I is there, there's a bridge that goes into there to let us know, well, are we breathing right? Are we bridging right? That's another thing. So, of course, here we get into Fox City, and Fox City offers us another opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the there. To familiarize ourselves with there, meaning when you are there, you know, it's how you are relating to here. Here determines how you relate to there. That's what the Fox is about. And then we get into Gypsy Journey. Of course, I open here again. Gypsy Journey, you are starting another cycle. Anywhere there, the freeze, you are starting a cycle. This is the start of a cycle. In the 6 is the middle of the cycle. The middle of the cycle is that you acknowledge where you're at. It's like you begin to really understand you have made it to that cycle. But then there is still like the last lap, which is where you have to birth. Because when you are there, you don't want to get too self-righteous. This is where we have the tendency to be self-righteous and think, oh, I've made it, and then something just happens and really slaps you around the face and think, oh, what do you think this is about? You have to go to headquarters and pay your dues to the Inland Revenue, you know. Or when you get there, you see that it's not exactly what you thought, and then you were given your bill, you have to pay your dues. Okay, so basically we see that that's a section of 7. How 7 is that journey. It's the gypsy journey. The gypsy journey, it offers you a sense that where you are required to focus, because 7 has an air of arrogance around it, because of course the air is lower than it is, if you see what I mean, just to say that. So 7 has its head looking, oh, you know, look at me. I have created man in my own image and likeness. I created he, him. I created he. I created female. I created he, them. That was what's the creator of Genesis did. And so he created 4 species of humankind in whatever he did, instead of when Mother Eve said to him, let's create man in our own image and likeness. Oh, he went about creating his, he, him, and so on. Of course, he created man in his own image and likeness, meaning it's like he took on the signature. He took on the ownership. It's like he forgot that Mother Eve. He forgot that Mother Eve was the one who really let him have the this is the entrance of letting. Mother Eve had let him have that the contract. Mother Eve was the one who is the contractor, but it's like he doesn't get it all together. He's not pretty clear, because she's like acting as the middle person, because she has the ability to do that. She has the ability to say, you know, I'm just going to let you do this, you know, on a nice par. But he doesn't know how serious she can get. She can be as rigid as this pen, and yet still she can be as supple as the S. And that's the beauty about Mother Eve. So he says, oh, I'm going to make man in my own image and likeness. But Mother Eve knew that already. That's why there was the woman and the man. There was the woman and the man, which really, he, the creator, I don't think had anything much to do with that. But we are, having said that, an embodiment of that he, him, which is really funny. It's the he, him, the he, the female, and the he, them, and the woman and the man, which we are seeing as Adam and Eve. Okay. So that's and so we add that. This is why I'm saying the chatter in the brain that we have here is an embodiment of all of that, which was whatever experiment was done on us. And that is why we are able to kind of like go within our own selves and see, because Mother Eve is within us, who already had seen everything, as in S-E-E-N, which S-E-E-N is that signature of Mother Eve. And perhaps this is where we're not even saying about. And so it is said we are created in sin, S-I-N. We are doing 7. This is Mother Eve. But they had not told us that it's Mother Eve here, denoting the beginning, which is I, and the ending, which is 9 and 5. So this is beginning and ending. This is why the Bible, the first word of the Bible is in. It tells you in the very 2 words, this is the power of number 2, 2 is already beginning and end. And it's giving you, with the S, a clear indication that Mother Eve is both forward and backward, up and down, curve and straight. Well, of course, if we did the numerical value for that, this would be 14 plus 1 would be 15. So man is seen, 15. But that scene we are talking about here, of course, man is seen, 15. Now, oh, that gives me, I think I need to have this as 2 headings. So man is seen, I hadn't done this yet, not this way, 15. And then we are also seen. This is 5 5s. Oh, 3 5s, 15 and 1 16. It's the same thing, 16. So this is the 7, right? Where this is 7. So man is seen. Beautiful. I hope you have enjoyed this. I like this bit because we often wonder about why most things in nature are curved, and then we do a lot of things squared, but that's because we are not seeing the whole picture, and then the other picture, the other half is lower. Okay, thank you, like in the L. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. I have enjoyed this. This is just, it makes life seem so much more meaningful and exciting. It's as if the wool is just come over our eyes and we are able to see S-E-E and S-E-A because we are able to swim. Thank you. SEA actually is 7. I think let's just finish on 7. SEA, SEA. This is 5, 6, 7. So that's a wonderful place to end. So we are able to see. We are going to see. Okay, with number 7. Thank you very gladly. I hope you have enjoyed this. As I say, I hope you have found it fun. If you like this presentation, please click like and subscribe and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualize in self-full love. Stay ignited, be ignited. Let's say be. The word stay, I have to explore it a bit more. That's why I'm getting all mindful about words now. Of course, stay has Mother Eve in it, the S, you know, it's like stay with Mother Eve, you know, that is good. And even if we are doing be, it's like this is where we are being positive, be mindful of what we are being. Okay, so thank you. Namaste and spill over with love.